All right, bitches. So we are done with the little 2 episode hit mini arc. We saw the conclusion of that. It was pretty good, for 2 episodes. I enjoyed it. I've seen a lot of people not quite so entertained by it, but hey, what can you say? Dragon Ball fans are never satisfied. Unfortunately, it's very true, and I can already predict. I'm using my powers of Nani and Mazaka. I can already see into the future that Dragon Ball fans will not like the next episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode 73, where we're going to have a great Saiyaman centric episode. Now, using my powers of intuition, I already can foresee that there will be some sort of event that will fuck up the continuity or break canon or something very similar to the Arale episode 69. I can see it, and I can see people losing their shit, and my only word of advice is just relax. These filler episodes, they're just playing around. They're having a good old laugh. It is what it is. Now, I am curious for this next episode. Looks like they're making a movie about Great Saiyaman. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be connected to Dragon Ball Z episode 205. That was the episode where Goku contacted Gohan, Trunks, Vegeta, and Bulma and told them that he would be participating in the upcoming World Tournament as well. He would use his 1 day back on Earth that he could get from Urani Baba. And most of that episode was filled out with a filler sequence where Gohan works as a stunt double on a Great Saiyaman movie being filmed. Now, what's interesting about this is that this episode had many, many references to other characters that had previously been around in Dragon Ball. There is a character that looks like the farmer from the first episode, the guy that Raditz kills. The director of the film looks like Commander Red. He's got an assistant, and it looks like Staff Officer Black. We see a lot of things like that. There's the owl with the cap, which we originally see in episode, was it 2 of Dragon Ball, or is it episode 3? The owl with a cap that's outside of Bulma's capsule house. You see him in that episode. So I'm thinking that this episode upcoming of Dragon Ball Super is probably going to be very, very similar, where we're going to see tons of references and maybe characters that we have seen before earlier in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. That also does fit the pattern that the producers at Toei have been going for with these Dragon Ball Super filler episodes, where they're just banking on everyone's nostalgia, giving us so many glimpses of past characters, attacks. Look at the pose Yamcha finished episode 70 in, his being killed by the Cybermen pose. I'm sure there's going to be tons of things like that in this episode. What I'm not sure of, however, is if this episode will be directly connected to that episode of Dragon Ball Z, because again, in that episode of Dragon Ball Z, they're making a movie about Great Saiyaman, which is what's exactly going on in this episode of Dragon Ball Super as well. And it appears as though Gohan is going to be working as a stunt double again on this film. So I'm not sure if maybe that's actually, that's the number one thing I want to know is it the same movie? Because that will be interesting if they are going to pull from old Dragon Ball Z filler. That does open up the door to possibly see other filler characters such as like Pikkon. Everyone loves Pikkon. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought Pikkon back in some sort of capacity in some sort of filler episode, especially with how much, Goku is traversing with the gods and whatnot. It's very possible. Also, another thing that's really interesting is that it looks like the main actor playing Saiyaman. I saw this on Twitter, but someone was like, so this is what Naruto is doing after winning the 4th Ninja War. Because the dude is like blonde and he's got like the blue eyes just like Naruto. It is interesting. I guess I would say I'm kind of looking forward to the next episode. We'll see, though. It could be really bad. Myself, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Great Saiyaman saga. I would say it easily is the weakest of all Dragon Ball sagas. I mean, this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I would probably say I like the Garlic Jr. saga even more. The Garlic Jr. saga has some moments. Oh, you know what? I think the worst saga might be the Black Star Dragon Ball saga of GT. That's really, really bad, actually. That's like true, like some of those characters, like the whip that turns into the monster, and like, you know, they're turning people into dolls and shit. Like, that is like true definition of filler bullshit. Also, last thing, there will be no episode on, what would it be, on New Year's Eve? Yeah, the episode was supposed to be playing on New Year's Eve. There's no episode on that week, so we're actually waiting 2 weeks for this next episode. Yeah, so everyone, get your popcorn ready. This is not quite like the week when we had a 2-week wait and they were gonna, you know, Whis, Goku, and Beerus were on their way to Universe 10 to go meet this Kai who has a similar energy to Goku Black. You know, we're not going through the 2-week wait of, oh, I can't wait. Who is this mysterious green Kai? Who could he be? What is his connection to Goku Black? You know, the 2-week wait for this great Saiyaman episode is not quite the same. Not quite the same amount of tension, man.